What is up, design family, and welcome back to another episode on the channel. As always, so glad to have you guys here, and on today's episode, I'm going to be diving into the wild world of artificial intelligence. And most likely you will have heard of this in terms of ChatGPT or OpenAI or any of the other artificial intelligence offerings. So as a fashion brand, how can we implement artificial intelligence into our business on a day-to-day basis to make our jobs easier, to design more creatively, to give our customers a better experience? Well, I've been at the forefront of this technology for the last 2 months. I've dived in deep, and anyone who knows me will attest to that. So I'm in a pretty good position to be able to share this knowledge with you guys. So if you're interested in terms of how you can get your time back, how you can offer a better service, a better product to your customer, how you can just in general get at the forefront of this AI revolution, which is not going anywhere, and ultimately, how do you actually take charge of your life, use the technology to the best of its experience, and move forward? Well, watch this episode, you're about to find out. Welcome to Fit Design TV. Are you interested in sports fashion, design, and manufacturing? Are you establishing your own brand? Noor looking good? Anthony, how are we doing? Do you want to? Thank you. Well, you've come to the right place. Lights, camera, action. Getting right into it, we'll start off with number one, which is answering customer support emails. Answering emails is one of the most energy draining tasks that anyone can do on a day-to-day basis. Obviously, you want to be able to evaluate what your customer is saying, what the problem is, dissect it. Sometimes the emails can be quite lengthy, and of course we understand where our customers are coming from. But at the end of the day, we want to get down to the meat and potatoes of the task. ChatGPT is going to be a great option for you guys to be able to take an email and simply to ask it, how should I respond to this? So this would be the base level thinking. Copy paste the email into the prompt. How should I respond to this email? It'll give you a pretty damn good response, but if you want to take it a step further, you could look at an email. It could be a customer saying, hi, I've received this product and I don't like the sizing. What are the options that are available to me? You can take that email, put it into the prompt, and ask ChatGPT, respond to this email in a friendly and helpful tone. And you can give it the action points that you want it to provide as a resolution to this. You can say, please mention that they should return the items to this address and that they will be refunded. And you can just put in the very basic inputs. And what it will do is it will package it up in a very well-written, concise, clear, and straight to the point answer. And what that does is it takes off all of the mental work that you have to deploy as a business owner that might be wearing so many different hats across the business to generate a well-written response that's professional, that's clear, that's concise, and ready for your customer immediately. Some great tools besides OpenAI's ChatGPT might be Compose, which is a direct Gmail plugin that you can have on the Gmail dashboard ready to go, and you can just give it a prompt that is as simple as talking to an assistant. You might say to your assistant, please respond to this customer saying XYZ. This is the same way that a language model processes information and input. So it makes it very easy in terms of how to direct, because it's just a natural way of directing your AI to actually do what you want it to do. So try it out and thank me later. 2 is to help you to write product descriptions for the items that you're putting on your website. And this has always been one of the most daunting tasks for any business owner is, how do I describe my product in a way that showcases the value that I have to offer, showcases the best technical features of the product, and ultimately delivers this to the customer in a clear and concise way that can actually put the product in a standing of value. And this is where ChatGPT does a great job. You can input a simple prompt such as, please create an Amazon-style product description for this product with this name. Highlight these key features. It'll create a great list for you. And if you want it to be formatted in a specific way, what I love about ChatGPT is that you can take the output and simply as if you're talking to your assistant or a copywriter, you could tell it, please restructure the above text in the same chat thread. Because ChatGPT, as we know, has a memory. It remembers what you said. Please restructure the above text in a way that is more concise and is structured with bullet points. By giving context in terms of where the final mediums that you plan on using this information are, you'll notice Chat tailors the way that it structures the information, the vocabulary that it uses, how much context it gives in order to match the end user use of this product. Asking it to create a product description for Amazon is going to be way different than asking it to create a product description for an Instagram promo. So the challenge here, and what most people don't really know, is they think that they just input what they want and chat is going to give them exactly what they want. And sure, it will do that if you know how to prompt it correctly. Knowing how to give context, knowing how to give just the right amount of information is going to be key. So take a moment, practice. Practice a variety of different inputs for the same desired outcome, and find consistently how you can get your desired results with the correct prompting. Number 3 is to conduct market research. And what I love about the platform is that you can go into your chat as if you're having a detailed conversation with a marketing analyst. And you can ask them key questions, give them a little bit of context. You might say, hi, I'm a yoga brand that's been in the market for the last 2 years. So you're giving context. The name of my brand is XYZ. Our brand focuses on the demographic of customers between this age range to this age range within this region of the world, and we predominantly focus on people with these kinds of hobbies. Give chat some context. Then you can say things like, what key aspects of my business should I consider when trying to mount a digital marketing strategy that focuses most predominantly on content or on organic marketing? And then it'll split out a bunch of different items where you might say, you should focus on creating content that showcases people in different scenarios in their products. You might say, create campaigns that have themes. It will give you a list of different resources that you can actually dive deeper into. And instead of you having to go and do the research on these specific points, you can ask it, hey, thank you for spitting out these 5 points. Expand on point number 4. Let's just say you like what point number 4 has to offer and you want to know more about it. You can ask it specific guiding questions on point number 4 to get it to give you more information. And believe me when I say this, consider the person in front of you as a human. The same way that you would communicate with a human is the same way you should communicate with chat. Knowing what types of questions to ask to get to the desired result is going to be where your add value as a prompter is going to come into play. So using it for market research is going to be huge. Giving it context is going to allow you to get tailored results specifically for your business. The more specific you are, the less generic the answer is going to be. Number 4 is that it can act as your own fashion brand consultant. And this is important because with ChatGPT, what it's doing is it's using natural language model processing, and it's being able to take all the information that's been fed and to calculate the information and to basically give you a very natural way of speaking. So the input that you give it, it's able to dissect, and just as a human would be able to understand, it's able to repeat back to you or to respond to you in a similar manner. And you can actually ask it to act as a fashion brand consultant. You can say, hi chat, I'd like you to act as a fashion brand consultant, and then give it context. What you're doing here by asking it and prompting it to be a fashion brand consultant is, this is number 1, a piece of context. 2, you're also starting to mold the types of information and the format of information it gives you. Now that it wants to act as a fashion brand consultant, its feedback is going to be much more tailored towards that. And also, the way that it delivers the information might be more structured, it might be more analytical, it might be more strategy focused, as opposed to a different prompt that might give you more of a different set of responses. Then you can ask it specific questions. You might say, how can I design a collection centered around this theme, and what sorts of things do I need to focus on in order to make the collection stand out? It will give you a bunch of features. It might say, create a consistent design language, consider using angular lines. It might say, consider using a theme that allows you to have a consistent set of fabrics. The fabrics should be within this specific range. It can be very, very specific. And of course, you should be fact-checking a lot of this information, but it does a good job to guide you in the right direction. You might even ask it in terms of how to guide you in a business perspective. You might say things like, chat, what are the key items that I should focus on when budgeting for my fashion brand? And it might give you some information to focus on. If there's something that you specifically want more information on, you could guide it. You could say, thank you for that. I'd like more information about number 3. Let's just say it tells you that you should budget X amount for your cash flow. It should tell you that you should have a specific amount of cash coming into the business. You might tell it, okay, what are some useful tools towards managing my cash flow? How do I make sure that I balance my books at the end of the month? It might give you more esoteric responses or more technical responses, depending on the context of what you're asking it. So the more technical you want it to be, the more specific you have to be in your prompting. The more esoteric and wide you want it to be, the more sort of wide you are in your prompting. Last but not least here is you can actually use chat to help you to generate social media content, both in a visual format and in a copy format. So in a visual format, This is something that not a lot of creators are going into and actually describing, but you can actually get chat to describe the visuals of a specific post that you should make. You can start off by giving it context. Hi chat, I'm a fashion brand, been around the market for 2 years. This is my target customer, this is the name of my brand, this is my aesthetic. You can even link it to your website to allow it to understand you better. So in the chat thread, give it context, give it all the information about your company, feed it the information that it needs in order to allow it to make educated decisions regarding your brand. Then you might tell it, what sorts of social media content can I create to be posting on these platforms regularly? You might mention TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and it might give you specific examples for each of them. If it doesn't give you specific examples for each of them, you might say, please regenerate the above response and give me 10 different options for Instagram, 10 different options for YouTube, 10 different options for XYZ. And you might even tell, be as unique and as different as possible. I want to create a brand that stands out. So giving that context at the end is going to force the chat to register and to generate responses in a way that are less cliche. And believe it or not, just that simple prompt of saying, make them more unique is going to make a world of difference. It'll give you a bunch of different responses. Then you might say, okay, describe the visual layout of an Instagram post that would relate to point number 2. And then it'll go into details. It'll say, for point number 2, creating an Instagram carousel that shows the benefits of compression apparel. It might say, start off with slide number 1. Slide number 1 should have these graphic assets, this typography, this color scheme. Believe me, it can get so specific if you know to ask it the right questions. I have done tens and tens of hours on chat, prompting, trying out different ways to interact with the software, trying out different integration methods across chat, across Zapier, across OpenAI, integrating the API across my website, across all of these different platforms in order to test what the true capabilities of this platform is. And believe me, the opportunities are endless. You just need to dive in. And as soon as you dive in and you see the potential, you won't be able to stop. So guys, let me know if you're currently using AI in your business, whether it's in fashion or in another type of business, and how you're using it. I'm extremely interested to hear from you guys directly. This is definitely the future. This is where I see our businesses heading in the next 1 to 2 years. We've completely implemented this technology across our business, and I genuinely hope that you will as well. This has been a fun episode for me. I nerded out a little bit, and hopefully you got the chance to nerd out as well. Guys, from the very bottom of my heart, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Fit Is Up TV. Until next week's episode, stay awesome.